Hey there, everyone, and welcome to whatever episode number this is. I really don't know from the time that I'm recording this, but here we are in the Fire Temple again. And since we ran out of things to do in the Forest Temple in the prior episode, I decided to go ahead and come back here since we did get another key for the Fire Temple. And I'm not sure how far we are going to get with this, but I'm going to see how far we can get before we come across an obstacle in which we can't go any further. Hopefully we'll find a beneficial item in this dungeon right here. As you can see, I am still missing the iron boots. I have no idea where they're going to be found at. I don't know if they're going to be found in this dungeon or anywhere else. That's kind of the thing with randomizers. You just never know where things are going to be found at. And of course, it is getting to be allergy season again, unfortunately. So there are going to be a lot of edits that I'm going to need to do with the audio. Now, what's extraordinary is that you normally would not have... Oh, I didn't mean to press that. You normally would not have the hover boots when you are in the Fire Temple, because you get those in the Shadow Temple. And I threw that bomb to see if it will activate the switch, and fortunately it did. So now we can go further up here. Okay, so I think I may as well give an update about what I have been doing as far as projects are concerned. Well, for beginners, I have this major Hero Factory series of mocks that are currently in progress. For anyone who knows what Hero Factory is. So, I'm currently in the progress of making those figures. Although, a struggling thing, and maybe I've mentioned this in a past video, but I'm going to bring it up again just in case you haven't seen any of my past videos, is that when you're shopping on Bricklink, which is a website where you can buy and sell different Lego parts and Lego sets, is that when you're trying to construct a certain model, like if you're working on a mock, or you trying to point... Aw, oh, dang it! I thought I found the golden scale, but it was a fool. And there was really no way for me to know that. Unless it was an item that I had already picked up, which I don't think I have, did we? No, we didn't. So there's no way I could have known that. Did the music stop playing? I just hate when that happens. Oh, found the compass. So, the struggle with buying parts on Bricklink, whether that be you're trying to construct a certain mock, or you're working on a mock, or if you are, if you're trying to part out an official set, the thing is that if you are working on getting certain parts for a certain model, is that sometimes you just don't know exactly how much of a certain part you are going to need. Oh, I didn't learn that yet. You know, it looks like we're probably going to need to do the Shadow Temple now, because I think I've gotten everything that I can in this dungeon for the moment because we have run out of keys. So it looks as though we might need to do the Shadow Temple. I was holding this off for this long, but it looks like I now have no other choice but to do this one. I mean, I would rather wait until I have the Lens of Truth, but who knows how long it'll be before I have that. But anyway, the struggle with the buying parts on Bricklink is that sometimes I may end up buying too little or too much of a certain part. Like, even if I think that I have put in all of the parts that I need onto my wanted list, there is a case in which I may discover that there was a part that I might have overbought or a part that I had underbought. Because sometimes there are cases in which I may be, I receive a number of different Bricklink orders of different parts, and there's a point at which I think that I've gotten all the parts that I need for the model that I am working on, but then as I am constructing the model, I discover that there was actually one part that I didn't put on my wanted list initially that I somehow missed, one way or another. And then there is also the case in which I may discover that I've ended up buying more parts than I actually need. Wow, 2 compasses in one episode, and we're not even at the halfway point. Or at least I don't think we're at the halfway point. That is, unless this is going to be a 14-minute episode, which I don't plan for it to be. Okay, and now here we are in the room with Dead Hand again, and I bet he's going to appear right next to me. Well, not as close as I was expecting him to. Wow, I didn't mean to hit him in the hand, but I suppose that works. Like, sometimes after I have finished constructing a model that I had been working on, is that I discovered that there are actually a couple of pieces that were left over from working on that model. And I did not mean to buy more parts than I needed. Well, I mean, sometimes I may buy a few extras, like if they are really small parts. But in this case, they were very big parts. And I certainly have no idea how I ended up buying a lot more of those parts, since I was certain that I had only added in as many parts as I needed to for the model. Now, I suppose when it comes to making a mock that is either based on an official combination model or is an official combination model, you just try to go off of how many parts are actually going to go into the model, then how many parts come from the sets in which you are working on them, or even the case for alternate models, in which you may end up buying too little or too many of a certain part. If I'm trying to construct a combo model, I just try to list off the parts that I will actually need for that model and just leave out everything else. Okay, I apparently cannot find it. And all that work for a heart container. Just great. I'm pretty sure that there are no other rooms that we need to enter in this area. At least this first portion of the area. I think the next thing that we need to do is go into the room with the bird statue. And this is going to be a bit tricky, though. Oh, this is not the room that I wanted to go into. So here we are with the bird statue. I'm going to go ahead and make a save state. I need to give a reminder. Okay, save state, Control S. Yeah, I need to make a reminder because I could not remember it. Okay, so I need to turn the skull over to the Skull of Truth, but I don't know what skull that is. Okay, so it wasn't that skull, so let's try this one. What? But I tried every single one! It's either one of them or none of them. Or does the Skull of Truth randomize each time? Something tells me that the Skull of Truth actually changes each time you make a guess. Yeah, because that one was incorrect when we tried it before. It looks like the Skull of Truth is not the same within the save file. It is randomized every time you are in that room. I was quite certain that it was always the same one when you are loaded in a certain save file. But apparently not. I will just be stunned if we end up finding the Lens of Truth in this dungeon. Because normally you're supposed to have it before you even enter this dungeon. That would just be so crazy, because you need to have the Lens of Truth to see the Skull of Truth. But what I ended up doing was lucky guessing, sort of. I did need to reset a save state, and I learned that the Skull of Truth resets every time you either die or leave the room. I was certain that it stayed the same within the save file, but apparently not. I'm pretty sure there's an invisible target here. Oh, there is a target, but it wasn't invisible. Ah, what a waste. So anyway, yeah, one of the struggles with Bricklink orders is just you trying to add the parts that you need onto a wanted list, but you either end up buying too many or there is a part that you ended up missing somehow. And the struggling bit about Bricklink stores is just trying to find which ones have the parts that you need. And you also need to find stores that have a pretty decent minimum price. Because sometimes even if I find the parts that I want, the store may end up having a minimum price which is way more than the total number of parts that I actually need to buy. Like, I come across a store that has a minimum buy of $20, but the amounts of parts that I want to buy from there only add up to $5. Oh, didn't mean to pause again, but while I am paused... Alright, so now I gotta kill all the keys in this room. Now another thing that I am working on, or am going to rather, I haven't started it yet, but I do plan to very soon, is work on a new mini-movie for the Legend of Kyuranger Adaptation of Time. I don't know how many of you guys have actually seen that movie or have seen a part of that movie, but sometime within the last week, that movie reached 3,000 milestones. And that movie had been up since 2021. So it certainly had not gotten a lot of views within the 4 years that it has been out so far. But I had made plans on doing mini movies for every. Ooh, this isn't a fool, is it? Oh, it was. I don't believe that. Okay, well, hopefully, whatever is in these chests. Okay, well, a Dekunat upgrade, not the best prize, but hopefully this will be better. I mean, I want something to help me progress. Like, maybe give me the Lens of Truth? I mean, maybe I have gone through this dungeon without the Lens of Truth before, but, you know, in the base game, you would have it by this point. Although, for as long as I have been playing the randomizer, or watching other people play the randomizer, I have never seen anyone find the Lens of Truth within the Shadow Temple. Or at least this far into the Shadow Temple. Well, I've gotten this far. Although I may need to restock on bombs pretty soon. So, the mini-movie that I'm going to be working on is playing games in Hyrule Castletown, which is meant to take place during the mission for Dodongo's Cavern. You know, the point of the movie in which the team that is picked to go to Dodongo's Cavern heads to Hyrule Castle first, and the remaining rangers stay in Castletown, and they do some mini-games while they are waiting for the next mission for it to be their turn. Since unless you have seen Kyuranger, which I would probably assume that a lot of people have not, is that they send out just 2 Deku shields. They just send out 2 Deku shields. No. That wasn't what I was gonna say. They send out just 5 Rangers at a time in most cases. And that really would have been great to have seen in Power Rangers, but some company who thought that 12 Rangers was too many had to buy the franchise before that could happen. And what we got was a big disappointment. Okay, 20 minutes into this episode, and we have gotten mostly mediocre prizes so far. I mean, I was holding off the Shadow Temple until I found the Lens of Truth, but I couldn't think of anywhere else to go because, well, I ran out of keys for the Fire Temple, and I don't know where else to go. Alright, there we go. So they send out 5 Rangers at a time out of the 12 that they have. And the mini-movie that I'm working on is what the leftovers, or the stay-behinds, are doing during that time. Since in Kyuranger, we barely got to see what the off-world rangers were doing in each episode. I also had done a fanfiction series called Freedom Squadron Liberanger, which is pretty much meant to be Kyuranger but done right. Although I didn't have the actual suits from Kyuranger be used, but I did have the same story. Is this the original hookshot or the long shot? Yes, the original hookshot. Okay, so how can we do this? Or have I come across another roadblock? Ah, hookshot target was right there. Thought maybe it was on the ceiling, but nope. It was on the wall. Okay, so I think that this might be the, where the episode ends, unless we find something that will really help us. Well, a new heart container, that isn't so bad. Oh. I was kind of worried that we'd end up running out of bombs, but there are bomb flowers up here, so we could just use that. Oh, but I got more bombs here. I'm still gonna use these, because I wanna... dang it. Seriously? More Dicker Sticks. Do we really need that many of them? Oh, I didn't mean to pull that out. Now, I think that hookshot target is on the ceiling, so it looks like this is where the episode is going to end for today, because this is pretty much as far as I can go. So at this point, what we are missing would be the Sun Song and the Serenade of Water. Not sure what else I can do at this point. Okay, so I have 2 keys for the Water Temple, which I can't get to right now, and I have... Oh, I also have 2 keys for Ganon's Castle, so maybe we could go there. But I'm going to call it an episode right here. So, thank you guys so much for watching this. This didn't turn out to be a great episode, but at least I got some things done. Just quite a shame that there wasn't anything too exciting right here. I was just holding this dungeon off for so long, and I end up finding nothing that would be that beneficial. So, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.